Hi guys, and it's time for another news overview, and this time it's for July. There's a few bits coming. One of them is, which isn't mentioned in here actually, is a new PvE op, and it's basically, I think it's called Independence Day or something, and I'm not entirely sure. I've seen a picture and it looks like it's on highway and there was a large spacecraft in the sky. So I'm not entirely sure what that entails, but you can earn prizes from that one each day. Anyway, on with this. Right. Well, as it says there, happiness is a state of defiance, and it's all about the countries that fought for their independence. So there are a lot of hero tanks coming into the store, possibly some coming back as well. And they're also tying in with Christopher Nolan's new World War II action movie, Dunkirk, as you can see there. Now, Independence Special. Day of Independence Proving Grounds, June the 30th to July the 5th. That's this weekend. Freedom Weekend is also this weekend, and the 4th of July Garage is from the 30th up until the 28th. And on the 4th of July itself, there is a Times 4 XP event. I think that's only first wins. Yeah, it is there. There's also going to be in-game discounts, like I say, the themed garage, and various ops. We're also getting the Frostbite Grizzly M4 Sherman, which basically, well, it says there, move over Ram 2, the Great White North gets a new hero in the Frostbite Grizzly M4. And it just says it's a Sherman variant. I don't know a great deal about the Grizzly, but to me it just looks like a Sherman. And I've got to be honest, I'm quite disappointed in it. I think I don't know, I think if they were going to bring the Grizzly into it, they should have done it in a different way. And I think doing it this way and putting a hero skin on it and charging more, because that's what's going to happen, unfortunately. It's a hero tank. The hero tanks are always more than the standard versions, and it's supposed to be because of the perma camo, but there is a lot of the time there is a much bigger difference than just putting, 4 lots of camo on a tank permanently. But yeah, there you go. So that's the Frostbite Grizzly. It's white with a giant maple leaf there on the front and a giant maple leaf on the back somewhere. I've seen another picture of it in one of the other articles. And yeah, to be honest, and like I say, I'm not particularly impressed. I think it looks kind of boring with I don't know, I just think that the paint job looks a bit boring, to be honest. And I'm not overly impressed by that one, I'm afraid. I don't know what they could have done to make it better. I just think they probably should have chosen a different tank in the first place. But it's to celebrate the 150th anniversary of Canada's Confederation. Now, Wargaming Summerfest, July 7th to 16th. Basically, it says we're pulling out the stops with limited time discounts, popular bundles, and a special promo op. More details to follow. Dunkirk, when I can get the mouse to move the screen. An earn up on the 14th to 27th. Hero bundles 14th of July to the 14th of August. And the Dunkirk movie release times 3 XP on July the 21st. Now, I honestly think the Wargaming are making 2 mistakes here. One, pretty bad. The other one is a mistake. Let's just leave it at that. Here's the first one, which I think is the pretty bad one. All roads lead to Dunkirk. With the upcoming release of Christopher Nolan's Dunkirk, you'll find plenty of related events, and there's a new earn up. Collect points by placing near the top XP earners and choose your prize. Now, there are 3 prizes that are tier 3s. One of them is the Panzerkampf T15, which is a tier 3 light tank, and well, the other one is the tier 3 Sexton 1. Don't get excited, it's not the good one. It's not the completely overpowered tier 3 artillery that is the American or the US Sexton 1. It is the fairly average premium tier 3 artillery that is the British one. So don't get too excited over that. It does not have the same performance as the American one. Now I've missed one out in the middle there. This is the mistake that I think is quite bad. It's the FCM 36 Pack 40, which is a tier 3 French tank destroyer, for those of you that don't know. Now, it is also possibly one of the most overpowered TDs in the game, tier for tier. And yeah, I am comparing that to the Death Star. And, I said tier for tier. It has quite a ridiculously broken gun, which is very, very overpowered for tier 3. It does see up to tier 5, but when you're in tier 3 matches, yeah, everybody else is in shit. For a couple of reasons, really, and this is why I think they're making quite a big mistake by making that earnable, because they will destroy tier 3 matches if they give away too many FCM 36 pack 40s. And because whenever, like I say, whenever they are top tier, they are very overpowered. In fact, in tier 4 matches, they're pretty overpowered. And in tier 5, in fact, in tier 5, they can still pretty much outspot most things. Which is, yeah, that you might be thinking, really? A tier 3? Yes, yes, really. But you can imagine new players coming into the game, getting to tier 3 or getting into a tier 3 game, and there being a few pack 40s on the other team, and they are going to get very, very annoyed, very, very despondent, and probably quit playing the game. Now, the FCM, I know I've said a lot about it. Basically, these are the things that are broken about it. Its rate of fire is quite ridiculous. I think it's, I want to say it's about 15 rounds a minute. It could be just over 13 or 14, but I think it's about nearly 15 rounds a minute, if not just over. Right, fair enough, it's tier 3. They do generally have a good rate of fire. It also has about 93 pen and 110 damage. It has, I think, 1.5 or 1.7 second aiming time, so very, very fast aim time. It's got pretty damn good accuracy. And it has a 400 meter view range at tier 3. The next time you see 400 meters of view range, you're probably looking about tier 8 at least. And, you know, your sort of standard view range. So you can imagine you get situational awareness and some binoculars on there. And, yeah, you can outspot anything. Even in tier 5, you will probably outspot most of those guys. You'll not be able to take them down with one shot, like kind of tier 2. Or you know, 2 shots, like just about any tier 3 in the game. But yeah, you'll still outspot things. So I think that's quite a big mistake, giving that tank away, or making that tank earnable, should I say? Because, like I say, it will kind of destroy tier 3 if there's too many of those about, and it really will put a lot of new players off. So I think that's pretty much quite a big mistake there. A slightly less of a mistake is 2 new Dunkirk related premium machines hitting the field as well. There is the Defiance Matilda, and it says there it's a tier 5, but it's not like the Matilda, the I can't remember what number it is. Is it the 4? The Russian Matilda, the one that is a premium tier 5 with preferential matchmaking. That has a different gun, slightly different armor profile. And I think I said in my review there that it kind of does work at tier 5, but it really needs to be at tier 4 like the other Matilda. Just tier 4 with standard matchmaking. That's when the Matilda is kind of special. Not as much as it used to be with the advent of some of the tanks that have come into the game. And there are certain tanks that can take you down at tier 3. Well, the FCM Pack 40 can take you down at tier 3, yeah. Tier 4, I meant to say, with the Matilda. But yeah, the Pack 40 can take a Matilda out like nothing. But yeah, you know, when you're in a tier 4 match, they are pretty damn special, you know. Or they can be if they're used right. Now this one looks like the standard British Matilda. That's the wrong one. Looks like standard British Matilda. It looks like it's got the 2-pounder Mark 10, is it, whatever, the top 2-pounder on it. But they've made it a tier 5, which I think is a mistake. Even if it's a tier 5 with preferential matchmaking, so it still only sees up to tier 6, I think that's a mistake. I think they should have just left it at tier 4 with standard matchmaking, and that's it. I could be wrong, there could be some difference about it, but so far it just looks like a Matilda with the top gun. And really, it should have stayed as a tier 4 premium. Now, don't forget, again, it's a hero tank, so there probably will be a slightly inflated price tag, but I'm not going to pass judgment on the price yet because I've not seen it. But that Matilda should be tier 4 with standard matchmaking. It should not be a tier 5. It kind of takes a lot of the fun out of the Matilda, and if it was a tier 4, I might pick one up. I quite like the Matilda, but with it being a tier 5, I'm going to leave that alone. And I do think that's a bit of a mistake. But that, the FCM 36 Pack 40, is quite a big mistake in my opinion. Other people might disagree, but there you go. Now, the other hero tank is the Vindicator Charioteer, which is a tier 8 British TD. It's in the alternative line of British TDs to the 80s. So they are different. It's basically based on a Cromwell hull with a different turret, and I don't know which one this one's got. It kind of looks like that could be the £20. You start off with the £20 in the Tech Tree one, and I think you end up with either a 105 or 120mm gun on it. But you've not got the traverses of a Cromwell, but you've kind of got the manoeuvrability of one. So it's quite a quick glass cannon. So I'll be quite interested to see how that goes, because I've only got up to tier 7 in that line so far. And now my mouse isn't working. So what's going on now? Right, there we go. Managed to get that working again. So, yeah, like I said, I've only got up to the tier 7 in that one. So I'd be fairly interested to see what gun that's got. Like I say, it looks like it's got the £20. Now, Project Valor is coming back. I thought these were coming once a month, but we don't seem to have had one through June. But we're getting the home emblem. A bit like the family one, basically 100% of the net proceeds go towards the Fisher House and their efforts. And that's about it, really. Some more ranked battles on July 28th to 30th, and some more emblems are coming. So American emblems 30th of June to the 30th of July, Canadian ones 6th of July to the 30th, and Dunkirk ones 14th to the 27th. So there you go. I'm assuming American, French, Dunkirk, probably. American, Canadian, Dunkirk. I don't know if both of those are Dunkirk or they're both Canadian. I would say they're probably both Canadian. But anyway, there you go. So that's the July news overview. I must admit, I'm slightly disappointed. Like I say, I'm quite disappointed. I mean, I like the M4s, I like the Shermans. I just think that's quite disappointing. It just looks very boring. It just looks as though it's just going to be, well, it looks like a white Sherman. That's it. Which I think is a missed opportunity and a little bit boring. And like I say, that should not be given away or earnable or whatever. It will put a lot of new players off the game, and that should be definitely a tier 4. But anyway, there you go. So I'll be back later on with another video. I think it will be XCOM today, catching up on that one. But until then, take care, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.